Welcome to Two Bottles Deep. We're a podcast where we venture into the world armed with humor, sarcasm, and a willingness to admit when we're wrong. Well, most of the time.
And our goal is to have open and honest conversations while we discuss topics that affect us as humans and as gay men.
And thank you so much for listening. And now it's time to get Two Bottles Deep. Hello, Wes.
Hey, Phil.
How are you, babe?
Happy summer.
Happy summer. You're dying to say
on?
something about the weather, aren't you?
Yeah.
You had a long pause. You're like, what do I say?
Yeah, I mean, it's my go-to. You know, when you just get out of your realm, and you're getting me out of my realm, I just can't talk about the weather right now. So I'm going to talk about a cause that is close to my heart.
Oh,
because I care. It's called Country for a Cause.
Oh, that was a struggle getting there, but I'm glad we're there now.
Country for a Cause happened, Phil.
Oh, yeah. How'd it go?
A few weeks ago. It kicks off CMA Fest. Went great. It's our biggest year to date. And raised $70,000 in one night.
Nice.
I want to keep in mind that 8 years ago, it was our 10th year, but like, I guess 8 years ago, we raised like 12,000 in one night. So now we've just grown it in donations and the outpouring of love, and it all goes to Children's Miracle Network at Vanderbilt Hospital here. So we did our presentation in the Ryan Seacrest studio. Ryan was not there.
That's interesting.
He's not been there.
That's
for 10
wild.
Years. He's somewhere out in LA, I guess. But it was great. We had a great show. It's the longest day of the year for me. It's an 18-hour day, and it's the funnest day of the year.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad it went well.
Do you want to know who we had on the show this year?
I would love to know.
You're dying over there.
I don't know if I need to know everybody, but maybe some highlights.
Crystal Gale.
All right.
Right. She is, oh my God, Loretta Lynn's sister.
Okay.
Has a lot of fame. Lee Greenwood, you know Lee.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free.
There you go. And Lee was there, and we had a lot of others. Chapel Hart. Y'all look up Chapel Hart. There's 3 girls, 2 are sisters, 1's a cousin. They make up a trio band, and they are phenomenal. They were on, I think, America's Got Talent. But they are 3 girls from Mississippi tearing up the country music world. And
Chapel
they were,
Hart.
Yes. Yep. Got to look them up. But it was a fun night.
Good.
A fun cause. And
I know y'all put a lot of work into it. So, glad it paid off.
It's a lot of fun. You get to meet the artists, but you get to see the artists hanging out with each other backstage. And it's kind of like a reunion from them, with them being on the road all year. They get to catch up with their friends. And it was went off without a hitch, as they say in the biz.
Good. Well, congrats on that, babe.
Thank you. Yes. What have you been up to?
I was up in DC recently. Went up for my friend Brooks, a birthday, kind of late birthday celebration. Really fun. His husband got him an Italian chef. So 8 friends came over, and we cooked Italian food and learned about how to make potato gnocchi, and braised Brussels sprouts and all that. It was so much fun. A lot of fun. It was cool too, because it was different levels of comfort with cooking. So if you didn't know how to cut anything, you could do the basics. If you were more advanced, you could do some more advanced stuff. So everybody got to participate. We had a delicious meal. It was great to see the kids. So it was a really cool experience.
Brooks is amazing. I've not met Greg, but
Greg's equally amazing.
Good. And y'all know Brooks. We did that politics episode.
He's the gay Republican,
But he's so well spoken. He's like the smartest guy I've ever met.
You haven't met a lot of people then. I need you to get out more, hon.
Brooksy. Well, I'm so glad the pictures looked great. You were a cook.
Yes.
What's one thing you took from that Italian chef experience?
The simplicity of a tomato sauce. I've always done like adding so many spices and different things to make it like full of flavor, but literally the ingredients were crushed tomatoes, garlic, and oil. And it made this just delicious sauce. So just how simple, really good Italian sauce or marinara can be.
Do you ever buy the ragu?
I do not.
So easy.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I mean, I have, but I would even jazz that stuff up. You pour it in a pan and you throw 2 other things in it and claim it's your own.
Yeah. I just wanted that thing to happen.
oh,
but we
okay.
don't have that sound effect.
We've got
Oh,
that.
okay, that was good. So
Good.
Ragu 578 here at
Ragu.
Publix.
Yeah, but
Well,
it was a good
looked
good
amazing.
time. We also did this really cool Memorial Day event at the Arlington National Cemetery. And it was a charity that Brooks has been involved in for many years. And it was a really cool experience where people who cannot go to see their loved ones who have passed, who are buried in Arlington National Cemetery, can write in, and people from this charity will go and find their grave and put a marker, like a memorial marker on there,
Mhm.
take a picture
nice.
and send it. I think you post it or send it. So we did that, which was really cool to do. I didn't have any idea there were 400,000 graves in Arlington National Cemetery.
Wow.
Huge. It's huge. So finding grave 1124 6D was a little tough in 400,000. But
Did you have a map?
you have a map, but it's like, they're all unmarked in the sense, I mean, they all look the same. So they're all white headstones.
Right.
So you're in the right section, but you got to find this one particular grave.
Mhm.
But it was worth it. It was a good experience.
When you drive by a beautiful cemetery like that, that's just so symmetric, I wonder how they measure and how they get
Yeah.
all the rows, because there's usually a curve.
Yeah.
How do they do
It's
that?
a good question. I'm sure there's a cemetery engineer. That's probably a job.
Yeah,
Right?
probably.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's probably on YouTube as well.
Oh, right. How to make a cemetery.
And then I'm like, God, they're gonna run out of room at some point. So what
for
do you
sure.
do? You know,
dig
did you
them
see
up, move 'em.
JFK's flame?
No,
Isn't that where he's at?
I didn't see anything. I didn't see the Tomb of the Unknown or anything. It literally was just go in. It took a long time to find the graves, put the markers, all that stuff. So we were there probably 4 hours in the 148-degree heat. I was like, no, there's no way I could be a soldier or anybody. Like I was sweating just walking through a cemetery. So
Sweat. There you go. Well, hey, it's going to be a hot few weeks here.
Yes,
we are
it
in
is.
June. June is known for festivals and heat, high heat indexes. Stay hydrated.
So true.
As we drink pop from McDonald's, and it's Pride Month.
It's Pride Month. Oh, okay. Wait a minute.
We're getting woke up in here.
Yeah, happy Pride, everybody.
What do I say? Oh, you wanted me to wait. I am stoked this year.
You are stoked, babe. Why are you stoked?
Everyone around America is digging in. No, they're not.
They're not.
Can I read you a post that a friend of mine posted on Facebook today?
Oh, God.
With Father's Day around the corner, I feel like this is appropriate. Love you, Dad. Here's the picture. It's a guy holding a big sign that he had printed. You are here because your dad's not queer. Happy Father's Day. And you wonder why we have pride, y'all.
You are here because your dad's not queer. Happy Father's Day.
It literally says Happy Father's Day and has like flags under it. How much more American can you get?
I'm glad he lives in a country where he can post that.
At 100%.
Yeah.
And bless his heart, he likes me, and maybe he's just trying to be funny. But it's funny because I know so many dads who had kids who are gayer than a $2 bill, and now they're out living their genuine lives.
Yeah.
So actually, their dad is queer. Just happened to be with a woman for a while.
Well,
made some beautiful children.
Well, every month, Wes and I, or every season, Wes and I do a Pride episode. And that's what we're going to talk about today.
Yes. And as a reminder, Pride all started from a riot in 1969 in New York City. There's a little bar there. It's called Stonewall Inn.
Yep.
And have you been there?
I've just been by it. I've not been inside, but went by. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Awesome. So anyway, they rebelled against the police harassment. You have to remember, back in that day, police would go into the bar. You're sitting, enjoying yourself. They're raiding the bar, arresting you for sitting in a bar because you're gay or lesbian. So the riots marked the beginning of that movement to end discrimination laws against LGBT Americans.
Yeah. And Pride Month is a time to celebrate acceptance, equality, and the work of LGBTQ people around the world. It also raises awareness of issues affecting the LGBTQ plus community and calls for people to remember how damaging homophobia can be. So if you were wondering why we celebrate Pride, that's the reason.
Yep. A lot of comments, a lot of posts from both sides of the aisles this time
Hmm.
of year.
Oh yeah.
Why is there 30 days of it and our veterans get one? With I saw someone posted, black people get a month, gays get gays, trannies, all those get a month. Their words, not mine. But then our veterans get one day.
Mm.
And which I'm sorry, the veterans get 10% off at like Chili's. So that should
That's
go
enough for you.
that goes farther.
Yeah.
They get percentages off every day. They get discounts. I don't know why we have a month personally. It's a different episode, but if you would like to talk about it, we'd love to have you on because I don't know why we have a month. But I am excited for Pride Weekend here. Do you
Yes.
have a first Pride memory?
My first Pride was in Washington, D.C. I do not remember the year. Probably the first or second year that I lived there. And I was dating a guy. He was a Puerto Rican named Ricardo. And ouch, was my knee, by the way. He was my first love. And the memory I have of Pride is that at that point I was not comfortable holding hands with him, on the streets of Washington. And I remember us walking up, and it was kind of a fenced in area in DC. So you kind of knew where the Pride Festival started. And as soon as we passed the like gates of Pride, he reached over and held and grabbed my hand. So it was like the only space in the city that we felt comfortable
Wow.
like holding hands in public. And that made a huge imprint on me because I remember feeling a sense of like belongingness and safety. And it was a great event. And I remember the parade. I remember being shocked at the parade, honestly, because I did not know what to expect. I'd never seen one. You'd seen pictures, I had, but not a lot. And I mean, there was everything from like guys in cages to the Presbyterian church walking. And I was just like, what is happening? Can we do it by sections? Like, here's the religious groups and here's the bars.
Lump them all together.
But that was kind of my first one, which helped me understand the kind of the shock value that Pride can bring to people, which is why I think a lot of people don't like it.
Yeah.
Is the shocking things that you can see. So yeah, that was mine. Where was yours?
Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas.
I think back, one of my fraternity brothers and another buddy, he lived in the north burbs or the north side of Chicago. So, and since we have been up for market days,
Oh yeah.
we go to market days, have a great time. Well, I was there when I was not out, and we walked by all these parties, and I knew I wanted to be over there, but I couldn't say it. And those two guys are still some of my closest friends, but we're talking 2005. I didn't come out till 2009, 2010. And I remember wanting to be at those parties. And it was just house parties. It's the north side of Chicago. All the neighborhood streets shut down. Everybody's just having a good time together. But I was over there with my friends just cringing that I wasn't who I was.
Yeah.
But my first Pride was Austin, Texas. The parade there is kind of like the parade here. 10, 15 years ago, I mean, there was maybe 1,000 people at it. Now there's a lot of people. You can't even get by the parade route because the parade route's like a mile long and it's 5-6 people deep. I mean, there are just tons of people. And we were down there with Jason last year for his birthday, and it was Austin Pride. And I hadn't been to an Austin Pride in over a decade. And I could not believe the amount of people. I mean, there had to been 100,000 people downtown. The first Pride there was 1,000, and the parade went maybe 3 blocks long. And I remember going with friends and stopping by there. And then I saw some friends that I knew because I had secretly been going to the gay bars without my straight buddies, obviously. And they're like, "Well, it's whatever." And my buddies were like, "Oh, how do you know these people?" I'm like, "Oh, I work with them." And I didn't.
Yeah.
So I was still that closeted guy.
We all work together.
You work with a lot of homosexuals. That's my first Pride memory.
Yeah.
Is being scared, being like, what? Because you saw the leather group was out, the bear group was out, the Dykes on Bikes, that's what they call themselves.
Yeah.
They were out. And you, even all these years later, Philip Hedrick, have you weren't expecting this. You have really helped shape me into someone who did not like Pride and was scared of it and scared of having a label put on me because of what outsiders saw. You've really helped shaped my direction and my mind.
I appreciate that, babe. I think it is important to talk about because I think Pride is one of those divisive conversations, right? People usually either love it or hate it. It's very few people that are like, whatever. I mean, do what you want. And some people are like that, but you will find the majority of people, and some gay people. I've talked to a few gay people this past week who I've just asked, are you going to go to Pride? No, I don't do that. They don't want to be associated with that part of Pride, which is, personal choice, and I get it. But for me, I've been to Prides in many different cities, many different countries. I am constantly blown away by like every Pride I've been to has the same feel to it. It's a very social, open, welcoming. I meet more people at Pride than I meet and when I go to a city and just go out, right? People are wanting to talk at Pride. People want to meet each other and socialize. So I think they're great. I think everybody should go. I think if you go, you need to, understand what you're getting yourself into and know that people are there expressing themselves in the way that they want to. And you got to be okay with that. Or you don't have to. I mean, I guess you could throw a hissy fit, but that would.
Yeah. And what's that going to do? Just be yourself.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, don't go.
Yeah.
Right. That's what you said one time. Hey, I had some questions for you.
Oh,
do you like some
my
trivia?
first trivia?
Yeah, your first trivia.
Yeah, let's do this.
Okay. So this is a little bit of pop culture, some history, right?
Okay.
Tom Hanks won an Oscar for playing a gay man in what film?
Philadelphia.
Oh, God, this is going to be easy for you. That's one of my favorite sushi rolls, too, by the way. It's got the cream cheese
Philadelphia?
in it. Philadelphia roll.
I have a hard time combining cream cheese and a sushi roll.
Hey, we all have it.
Yeah.
Right? What show features the longest running gay character? This one threw me.
I do think I know this only because I think I remember hearing this. Is it Grey's Anatomy?
Yes. Oh my God. I was going through, Queer as Folk.
I was initially going to say Queer as Folk.
Because that came out.
But that only had a few seasons. I remember Grey's Anatomy had I think it's got like 190 seasons.
True. Yep. When was the first protest for gay and lesbian rights?
1979.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah. Well, way off. You had the 19 right. It was in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Funny enough, July 4th, 1965 was the first protest. So that's 4 years before Stonewall.
Yeah.
Before all that stuff happened. People were still being targeted.
In Philadelphia.
Okay. Yeah, Philadelphia. There's another one. Will and Grace premiered in what year?
Oh. 2005. I don't know.
No, 1998.
Oh, gosh.
You know what's funny is I was in my dorm, 2001. I would have Queer as Folk on and I would watch Will and Grace. Again, very closeted, very scared. And I had it so low that I couldn't even hear it because I just knew that my neighbors heard everything. But then I'm like, wait, I couldn't even hear it. So I had a towel under my door because I didn't want because dorms, like the doors don't go to the floor, right? You have this little towel there because I didn't want anybody here, but I wanted to watch Queer as Folk so bad. And I still never got into it.
That was the show that you would watch and you're like, they're showing things that
they're in a club. And I've never been in a club like that.
I think that show made me gayer. I was like, I want to do that.
It is the media. Trump's got a point. This is going to be easy. Which Golden Girl had a gay brother?
Blanche.
Yep. Knew that one. So there you go. You win.
All right. Yours are less pop culture-y.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
What city has the largest gay pride parade?
City in America?
Nope. City in the world.
Oh gosh.
It's not Bolivia.
You know me and geography. Well, New York City's big initially because they had a world pride there.
Okay.
But then the Olympics were just held down in Rio de Janeiro, and that looked like a big city.
Take your time.
We only got a 30-minute show. New York City, final answer.
Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Gosh.
Listen to this. In 2006, the parade had 2.6 million onlookers. And that number has still not been beaten today. 2.6 million. For reference, Nashville, I think, had 40,000 last year. 2.6 million.
This is like many times that.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Wow, dude.
Sao Paulo, honey.
Sao Paulo, which is down there.
All right. What was the first European country to legalize same-sex marriage?
Ooh, I know this one. Ireland.
No, the Netherlands.
Yeah, I've read
Who-
that somewhere. I know I have.
Ireland was the first Irish country.
Oh, is that
to-
not Europe?
No, I'm just saying it's the first
Oh.
Irish country
Oh.
to legalize same-sex marriage. Um,
Why are you giving me all these locations?
well, I didn't. I mean, I'm not intentionally. It just. I thought these were interesting. Who was the first openly gay man to be elected into a public office?
Abraham Lincoln. Oh, he wasn't openly gay. Um,
No, he wasn't.
I just outed him. Is it too soon?
No.
He's got Tom Hanks is. I saw an interview. He is a distant cousin to Abraham Lincoln.
Did they do that from like 23andMe or something?
Yeah, I saw.
Oh, that's
he did an
interesting.
interview. He is a lineage from him.
Oh, I would bring that up all the time.
Yeah,
if that was
absolutely. What was the question again?
Who was the first openly gay man to be elected into a public office?
Oh, Harvey Milk.
Yes. And he was the member. I looked up what his position was. San Francisco Board of Supervisors.
It was like a
It's like
city thing, right?
It's very vague. Just a bunch of supervisors. We're bored here.
It's like, where are we going to plant the next tree?
Check the supervisors. All right. And last one. Which state was the first to legalize civil unions for same-sex couples in the United States?
I want to say somewhere progressive, but I think it was Iowa.
Vermont.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Yeah.
Close.
So there you go, Vermont.
Yeah, way to go, Vermont.
Mhm.
Love that. Never
Um,
been there.
yeah, you mentioned, there's every time June hits, there's always people on my feed on social media is like half of it change their profile pic to pride stuff. And then you get the ones who you can tell are like against it, or that's usually an American flag that becomes, that becomes their profile pic. Or, you won't see me on social media for 30 days. I'm like, okay, come on.
Mhm.
But, I was trying to come up with reasons. A patient asked me the other day, we were talking about pride, and she said, why is pride so important to y'all? And
Mhm.
I was like, I mean, what would your answer be like right out of the gate? If somebody asked you that, how would you answer that?
To me, it's to celebrate and bring awareness, celebrate diversity, come together. And I guess it brings awareness. I still say that because there's always something we're fighting for.
Yeah. I said, it's a way for us to show ourselves to the world. If you know a gay person, you're less likely to hate a gay person. If you're around them, you're less likely to hate that kind of thing. But it's more importantly for people in our community to have a safe space to be able to laugh and dance and love and wear what they want and not feel judged.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's important. But I was looking up some of the reasons for the importance of pride. And one that I'd never think about is the amount of effort put into the uh, the bills that are being passed in the U.S. And there's a significant number in the last year. It's a time to challenge anti-LGBTQ legislation and educate the community on how they can fight against these bills. And there's 40, I think 40 bills right now in Tennessee that have either passed
Ooh.
or are going to be voted on soon that have some anti-LGBTQ parts to them. So that's a significant number.
So when I think anti-LGBTQ, it's so much because if it's an anti-trans in sports, yeah, it's anti-trans, but not anti-gay.
Yeah.
Right.
So
we're lumping them together,
Yeah.
which I'm not saying is good or bad. There's some laws that are like, oh my God, this is so bad. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, well, it's not. But that's to me.
Sure. Well, that's the point too. It's like, you know, know the bills that are going to affect you. It doesn't mean you shouldn't, support and fight against bills that harm other people,
Mhm.
right? You don't have to be a part of the trans community to want to be able to show support. But that's a good point. Within those 40 bills, all 40 of those do not directly affect the gay community.
Mhm.
Some of it is dealing with hormone replacement therapy and stuff for young people going through transitions. Some of it is bathrooms and the flag bill that we've talked about on here. All of those are
Yeah.
considered anti-LGBTQ. Um, so yeah, so part of this is to look into your own state and see what bills have been presented to to your legislation, and see if it's something you want to get behind or something you want to fight against. That's part of pride too. It's not just the circuit parties and
Hmm.
the fun dancing and all that stuff.
I, you look at the Black community who had they were just beat up for, I say that figuratively, for so many years. And there's so many white people that say, well, they've had their freedom for like, 100 years now. So
Yeah.
just get over it. I can feel that in our community. It's like when you're suppressed so much, like they were, and again, it's very different, right? We didn't go through slavery, but there's still this sense of pride, this sense of, okay, I want to walk down the street and be who I am, because I still would not feel safe at 10 p.m. holding my boyfriend's hand on most streets in America.
Mhm.
And some people who are, straight in a white on white relationship or black on black relationship would not get that.
Mhm.
Like they don't understand the repression, suppression, whatever word I'm supposed to use. They don't understand that.
Yeah.
And I try to understand in interracial couples too. You still see people looking at interracial couples wrong, which I don't understand why. So we have been suppressed all these years that people are just so proud to be who they are, and they can be married, they can't be fired. Maybe they can still be fired from jobs. I don't know if that law is still out there. But a lot of straight people I talk to, they don't realize how many laws are out there.
Mm.
I don't know how many laws are out there that hurt us. So that's part of pride.
Yeah. And
Part
you
of it.
mentioned, not feeling comfortable holding hands. Violence against the LGBTQ community, it is actually higher in the last 2 years. I think the FBI's annual crime report showed a 19% increase in crimes against the LGBTQ community.
I wonder why.
Well, and I wonder too if like crimes in general are all up. Like if all crimes are up and also crimes against gay people are up, that's just crime.
Crime's up.
That's not necessarily that people are just out to hurt gay people. So I
Mhm.
don't know the actual statistics on all crime. That would be interesting to know. And then also, there have been a huge spike in trans violence, and that is included under the umbrella of LGBTQIA plus.
Mhm.
So, if you really dig into it, I'm not sure if we would know how much are against just gay people, but in general, our community has experienced a 19% increase in crimes in the last 2 years.
And overall, you can't dig into the metrics that much to find
Yeah.
out. And I'm sure there are studies that can be done, but in the end, there's crime. It should not be happening. And yeah, I wonder. I mean, in with the trans community, it's so much in the media. It's so much on TikTok and really everywhere. It's really what everybody's focused on. Like years ago, it was black people, and then interracial relationships, and then the gays had their time. Now it's the trans time because of all the bathroom bills, and they think kids are chopping off their own penises. It's just there's so much
Mm,
misinformation out
yeah.
there. And I want to get another trans person on to talk about that because I want to understand it more too, to help educate people when I'm talking to them. We've had people on and they're like, surgery is not happening when they're 5.
All right.
But when you hear about Florida schools and they're like letting these kids transition, I'm like, well, it's something deeper than that. So I think we all need to settle down. Maybe we can have a picnic and we can all talk about it,
You and your
and we
picnic.
can just really just be educated about it. There's a lot of stuff I don't know, but I do want to know about a lot of these issues, the bills that are being passed. Maybe they are against us, maybe they're not, maybe it doesn't affect me and you, and maybe it would affect a lesbian person or a trans person. So yeah, I mean, it's a lot for me to understand too, and I hope straight people understand that we are a lumped together community, and at sometimes we're trying to figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, we expect people to support us when bills are going to, specifically hurt us, right? I would expect all my friends and all my family. So when it affects other people in our community, even if I don't think it's going to directly affect me, I do think we have some sort of responsibility or obligation to do something. And that can be going to Pride. There's always um, booths set up that help you understand the bills that are going to be going. So, go to the festival, do your homework, find out what you can do within your
Mhm.
community to be helpful. Um,
Yeah.
the other thing too is, we talked about earlier, me being at Pride and feeling comfortable holding hands, and you still, you not being comfortable holding hands in most cities. That's an acceptance issue. That's us wanting to be accepted in the world. And that's part of Pride as well, to improve social acceptance of LGBTQ plus communities. And there was a recent, the UCLA School of Law recently published a very thorough study where they looked at the social acceptance of LGBTQ people in different countries. So these are the countries, they ranked every country as to how acceptable they are of our community. So, any guesses on the top five? These are countries in the world that accept us.
I wouldn't even know where to start. I know like Saudi Arabia and Africa and South America aren't as accepting,
So
but
this is, so remember the
I would think
first,
Europe is
yeah.
is really good.
So we talked earlier about the first marriage. People could get married in the Netherlands. So the Netherlands is number two. Iceland is number one.
I've always wanted to go there.
Iceland's number
Everybody's up in
one.
there recently.
Number two is Netherlands. Number three is Norway. Four is Sweden. And five is Canada.
Thank you, Justin Trudeau is
Right?
up there.
Guess where the US was? This is out of 175, by the way.
I don't know, 100.
No, we're 23rd.
Oh, okay.
We're
Inching up
mostly
there.
accepting.
When 60 something percent of the population agree with same sex marriage, I feel we're getting there.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you think it's all the issues that are just pounded at people right now and it's on the top of every feed? They're just tired of it. And that's why they like for straight people, they're like, when is it going to end? I don't care who you sleep with. That's a lot of the posts I see.
Yeah.
But I'm like, do you or do you not care? Because I mean, I think a lot of people too, I think the majority are like, I don't care what you do in the bathroom, leave kids alone and live your life.
I mean, for 30 years, I've been on Facebook and watching straight people announce babies, marriages, first birthdays, Christmas, family, all these things that I'm watching and going, yeah, I don't have that. I don't have any of that.
Mhm.
Now, if I didn't like straight people and didn't tolerate them, I might say something like, "Why do we have to see this? Why do I have to be, well, why can't they just keep it in private?" It's the same kind of
Mhm.
thing. If you're not comfortable with a group of people, if they make you feel a certain way, then I can understand why you're rejecting it. But most people who are just normal are just like, I mean, make a joke about it, right? It's Pride Month. You're going
Right.
to see a lot of rainbows. I mean,
It's
but
out.
what
Yeah.
happens? What else? What
Yeah.
negative happens other than, a city's main street is shut down for 2 hours for a parade
Yeah.
and then there's a festival? Just don't
Right.
go out.
Well, it's funny because we have a Pride Month. And here's where I kick back for people that bitch about it. We have a Pride Month, but we're not interrupting your life for a month. You're programming. You can still get on Netflix. You can still do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
This does not affect your life at all.
No.
Now at CMA Fest, I saw a ton of gay people there, which was really cool. But I saw a lot of American flag shirts and it says, "This is my pride flag." Because again, CMA Fest is in June. So it's really interesting. And speaking of flags, I was a little concerned. First of all, most of the people marching with us are straight. So we have a lot of allies, which we love. But I didn't know what flags to buy for the float we're on.
Mm.
I bought an American flag and the original pride flag.
I think there's 20 different versions. And I think when someone hears that, a natural response is, why in the hell do you need 20 different? I don't know.
That's my question. I don't
I,
put hell.
I
I
don't
could
know.
care less how many we have. I just don't understand them all. So I just bought the one with
Yeah.
like the 6 colors on it or whatever.
I don't
didn't
think we're
buy
going to
all the
get like
others.
a Yelp review of like they had the wrong pride flag. Some of this too is like older gay people use the older pride flag.
And that's who we are.
The newer gay people are going to use the one. I think that has brown added to it, and it's got like a triangle. And
Yeah, and there's pink or something to it. And it's, we're all out here for everyone, right? But I honestly I was scared. I'm like, what flag do I buy?
which one did you get?
Just a normal pride flag.
Normal. We got a normal pride flag.
I
Yes.
hate that word. But I do struggle this time of year because people I'm so close with post anti-pride stuff. And here's the thing. I know them. We have a great relationship. I get where they're coming from. So yeah, I don't know. You do you post like anti-black stuff for Black History Month? No, you don't. Why are you posting anti-pride stuff for Pride Month when it does not bother your life at all? Yeah, there may be a pride flag outside Cracker Barrel. Don't go. You know, BMW may have a colorful BMW sign. Don't buy a BMW. I don't know. But I think that when the Harley group's in town or any type of, then the KKK has a rally, I don't pay attention to it and I don't post negatively about it.
Yeah.
I mean, the Harley dudes, KKK, they're whatever, right? Not that I'm comparing the two.
No.
Those are just the two rallies that I think of. Oh, the Renaissance Festival. You see some crazy stuff that happens at that. Let people be who they are, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, what are you going to do?
Oh.
There's every pride I've ever been to all over the world, there's been protesters out front. That's the only festival I've ever been to, any kind of festival where there's protesters, is always at Pride. And they are angry, usually spewing some biblical verses that are misrepresented on a poster board and many times misspelled. To me, that's like, I mean, I don't think anybody's walked into Pride and been like, you know what? I shouldn't be here. I need to go to church because that crazy man on the side.
Stand by Jerry.
Yeah.
There was a guy going into Nissan Stadium. You passed by him and he had a speaker, same type of thing, but it was this music is devil music. And literally we're singing John Party, like dancing and drinking is what his song is or something like that. It shocked me because I'm like, wow, this is not really one of those festivals that someone would stand outside and shout into a megaphone, but dadgummit, he was. And people were walking by like, and what inspires that guy to be in front of 70,000 people filling one stadium thinking that he's going to make that change? It's just, I'm glad he has the freedom because, and maybe he's just out there practicing, he's preaching.
Yeah.
But I found it was so odd. I wouldn't be out there with a pride flag saying, you all have to accept me. Like it's not going to do anything. Yeah. And what he did. So there was a protester at the CMA Fest saying it's devil music. I don't know. Maybe he's
Speaking
not a
of
drinker.
music at work. I forget which day it was. We play music at work every day, and there's always some joke about which playlist we're going to listen to and all that. And this particular day, I was living for the music. Every song that came on, I was like, God, this is a good playlist. Finally, my office coordinator, Sander, was like, what do you think about you like the playlist? I was like, oh my God, it's amazing. She's like, yeah, it's Pride Radio. We're going to play it for you when you're in here. So I was like, oh, so I get Pride Radio at work.
Yeah.
So I get to hear my Lady Gaga and Beyonce remixes. And patients are saying things like, it sounds like a club in here. What's going on?
Just for this month.
Just for this month. I'm shoving it down your throat.
Yeah. Maybe they'll be trans next time they come in. I don't know. Or gay. Or one of the letters, right?
Oh.
Well, I am looking forward to the parade.
Yes.
This Saturday.
Yes.
Downtown Nashville. And our friends are going to be there. People we don't know are joining us in walking, which we're so excited. And really, I thought it would just be me and you holding our banner. And here we have a ton of people. It's going to be so much fun.
And if you're interested in being in the parade and walking with us, we would love to have you. You can reach out to us on our Instagram, 2 Bottles Deep, or our email at 2bottlesdeep@gmail.com. Or if you got our numbers, whatever. Text us, let us know. We'd love to have you. We'll let you know the details. We just ask that you wear a bunch of Pride paraphernalia. We'll have a bunch of stuff to be given away. We're going to have a fun time, and then we're going to go out afterwards to, where are we going?
We're going to Friends in Low Places.
Friends in Low Places, Garth Bar.
Garth is an ally, him and Trish. So we're going to go support their business because they're struggling a little. Just kidding.
Yeah, I was going to say, it doesn't seem like it.
That was a poor joke I do. And he is a great ally. So we're all going to go there. But what this week means for me is Pride Week here in Nashville. It's when I was down there, there were families, there were church groups, every news station, Cracker Barrel, Bridgestone, all law offices, and people were just smiling and having fun. And that's what it's about. And it's about connection, and connection is an energy.
Yeah.
And that's what we're so excited to be around friends and meet new friends and be around people. And just when people are hating on us, we're just minding our own business, having a good time, spreading love and cheer, and hopefully probably saving people's lives.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that for a little bit, right?
Yeah. And for me, pride is the ability. Well, I am proud of who I am. I am proud of my friends and my family and how they support me. And it allows me to go to these festivals and communicate with people, to have that, to exchange energy and to network and support people and see people we haven't seen in forever. I love it. I mean,
Mhm.
I get so much out of these weekends. I'm exhausted at the end of them. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a blast.
And that reminded me, because we're proud to be a gay American, or at least I know I'm somewhat free, and I won't
Oh,
forget
that's
the
good.
man who died
All right.
that gave that right to me, and I proudly stand up next to you. That was
All
my
right.
that
Thank
was
you.
my karaoke song when I lived in Myrtle Beach.
Was it?
Yeah, I'll do it sometime.
Oh, I can't wait.
You're welcome. Happy Pride, fella.
All right, guys. We appreciate y'all. Have
God
a
bless.
good, happy Pride. If you get a chance, come out to the festival. If you see Wes and I, please make sure and say hello.
Let's do it.
And babe, I hope you have a good week.
You too. Stay safe out there.
Happy Pride,
Love
everybody.
you. Bye, y'all. Episode of Two Bottles Deep. If you'd like to be a guest on the show or have a crazy show idea, email us at twobottlesdeep@gmail.com or hit us up on the old Instagram.
And we really do appreciate you listening to today's show. And when you get the chance, go back and listen to our other episodes, because Lord knows you have nothing better to do.